Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cara Fiano and I'm a local real estate broker in the Asheville region with Mackey Realty. Today's video is part 2 of my July housing market update, and this one is going to be focused solely on local data. I'll be diving into data for the Asheville region, in addition to county-wide statistics, and I'll be focusing on home prices, inventory, and some interesting local news. If you missed part 1, I'll leave it linked up here. I highly recommend watching that video as well, though it doesn't really matter which order you watch them in. In that video, I discuss national data as well as mortgage news and some forecasts for the future. All right, let's dive into some regional statistics to start. All right, so for the Asheville region, and again, as a quick reminder, the Asheville region is comprised of 13 different counties, so it does include some pretty rural counties, but I still think it's good to look at. So this data is actually from June, so whenever I do a housing market update video, like for July, for instance, it includes June's data since June is completed. So let's start out talking about listings. So new listings are up. As you can see, this chart, this bottom graph, does show you a more longer term time frame. So it does start all the way back at 2004. You can see since then, we've generally been on an uptrend, and this spring, we really did see a very large amount of listings. I think this was higher than we saw back here in 2015. But you can see the cyclical changes in real estate. So spring and summer tend to be the busiest times in this region. If we look here, we can see on a year-over-year basis, new listings are up by 6.4%. If you look over here on the right, you can see that listings are down on a month-over-month basis. I also apologize. I noticed that some of these charts are cut off. I don't actually make these. These are through the MLS, and because I'm a realtor and I pay for this service, I have access to these. But yeah, they forgot to adjust this. If you want to see the full graph, I've shown them in last month's video, so feel free to take a look back at that at June's housing market update. I'll leave it linked up here if you missed it. But days on market has definitely been on the rise. So you can see here, it is up 34% from last year, and it is now up to 55 days. If we look at this on a month-over-month basis, it's actually kind of flat. May was 53 days, June's 55. It has been declining a little bit since the winter months, which again makes sense. Let's talk about average sale price. So this is down a little bit actually from last year. It's down 2.9% and it's currently hovering just over 513,000. This did peak in 2024 at 528. So this is, a welcome change if you are a buyer seeing average sale price start to decline a little bit. If you look at this chart on the bottom, you can see it is stabilizing. This is something I've been mentioning on my channel for quite a while. I've been saying that inventory is increasing and prices are stabilizing. If we look on a month-over-month basis, again, it's pretty stable. We're basically where we were in April, and May wasn't a whole lot different either. So prices did increase since the winter months, or at least according to this, since February and March. But yeah, they are relatively flat for spring and summer. If we look at median sale price, which is actually my preferred statistic to look at, we can see that the median sale price is down by 3.7% on a year-over-year basis, and it's currently $420,000. Interestingly, this is the same median sale price that we saw in 2023 in June. This is going to look really similar to that average sale price. This lower chart here is showing you that median sale price is really stabilizing. Month over month, again, April, May, June, it's very, very close. So 420 was also the median sale price for April, and May was 421. So very, very stable in that regard. This one, I'll touch on this real briefly. Again, I apologize for the charts. I don't know who made these this month, but I don't have any better graphs at the moment. So Percentage of original list price received, this number truly doesn't change a whole lot. So you can see even on this axis here, this isn't zero by any means. It starts at, yeah, 82.5% and goes, it should go up to like a little over 100 actually, because in 2021 and 2022, I do remember seeing this over 100. That's when the market was a very strong seller's market. We were seeing practically every home fly off the market with multiple offers. People were offering like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over asking. The most extreme scenario I remember was I was helping someone place an offer on a home and there were 28 different offers, and I believe that home sold for like $80,000 or $100,000 over asking. And this particular home actually had a new community that was about to be built behind it, so whoever ended up buying that home is now dealing with construction noise for years to come. So that was a special time, and we are not in that market by any means anymore. So we are back to these kind of pre-pandemic levels, really ranging between 92.5% and 95% of original list price. So this basically means that some properties are going to be selling for over asking, some are going to be selling for under asking. It has been declining year over year. You could see 97.6, 95.9, 94.2. So it is gradually declining, but I wouldn't say that it's any cause for serious concern or anything if you are a seller in this market. So overall, housing inventory is up by 54% year over year. This is a pretty big jump. We had already started to see inventory increase last year, but yeah, 2025 has shown significant increases. And as you can see here, we are now officially into those pre-pandemic inventory levels. On a month-over-month basis, we are definitely seeing this jump as well. This is a good indicator to show that we are no longer in a strong seller's market. So we've seen inventory increasing, and it is continuing to increase at a faster pace, and buyer demand hasn't really been keeping up with that inventory increase. But now we're going to come to my favorite statistic, as you guys probably know at this point, month supply of inventory. Look at this, guys. Month supply of inventory is now 6.2. That means we are officially in that neutral or buyer's market territory. Now, I do want to add something in here that over the years, I have always referred to anything under 6 as being a seller's market, 6 to 7 being a neutral market, and 7 and higher being a buyer's market. I have seen that in various statistics, though I've also seen some people say that under 6 is seller's market and anything over 6 is buyer's market, and they don't really have any distinguishing time, I guess you could say, for a neutral market. That was my long-winded way of saying we're in a neutral market or very close to a buyer's market. So month supply of inventory has increased by 67.6% year over year. Like I said, we're at 6.2 right now. You can see on the month-over-month basis, this number has been increasing for the past few months. We were only at 5.1 for 1 month. We were only in the 4s at 4.3 for 1 month. And in the winter months, we were in the 3s. So this number has been increasing at a pretty rapid rate. I'm not sure what to expect going forward, if we're going to see this month supply of inventory number continue to increase, or if we're going to see it stabilize and stay maybe around 6 or 7. I'm not totally sure just yet. But if I do gather some opinions on this, I'll be sure to share them in next month's video. But as you can see, we are back into those pre-pandemic month supply of inventory levels of more of a neutral market. So that's all I'm going to cover for the regional data. Now I'm going to dive into county-wide data and comparing the 4 most popular counties, which will be Buncombe County, Henderson County, Haywood County, and Madison County. I'm not going to be breaking down statistics per each town. However, if you are curious about that, I did post a YouTube short about this a few weeks back, I believe. I think it was like early July that I posted this, basically showing you how median sale prices have changed in each town in this region over the past year. And I'm going to do this on a monthly basis. So July's will be out basically in the beginning of August. But if you are curious about town-specific data, I'll leave that video linked up here. Definitely go and check that one out. All right, let's jump into data for Buncombe County to start. So these statistics are all going to be the same ones that you saw on the regional level. They're just going to be per each county. So median sale price in Buncombe County is down 3% to $509,000. Average sale price is down 5.4% to $609,000. If we look at total inventory, this is up quite a bit. Total inventory is up almost 78%. So we are seeing rising inventory and slightly lower sale prices. And month supply of inventory, this is pretty big. Buncombe County is officially at 6.2, meaning they are in a neutral or buyer's market. This is up 100%, or in other words, it has doubled since 2014. Let's take a look at Henderson County here. So Henderson County median sale price is down 3.4% year over year. It's currently $463 roughly. So as a comparison, Buncombe County is more expensive at $509. Average sale price for Henderson County is actually up. This is interesting. So a median sale price having declined, average sale price having increased to 4%, and that is currently 540 roughly thousand. Again, lower than that 609 number we saw for Buncombe County. And overall inventory is up by 42.5%. So very similar story here. Inventory is increasing and prices are stabilizing. Month supply of inventory, Henderson County is still in a seller's market, statistically speaking. They are at 5.1, which is a 37% increase from a year ago. So they have not seen nearly as big of a change in their inventory numbers compared to Buncombe County. So if we go back over here for a second, we could see it was at 3.1, jumped to 6.2. Henderson was at 3.7, so it's actually higher last year in June and jumped to 5.1. So for Haywood County, this is pretty interesting. Median sale price is down 17.6% to $350,000. Guys, that is a $75,000 decrease for median sale price for Haywood County. I'm not 100% sure what is causing that, as Helene really impacted the Asheville, Hendersonville, Burnsville, Lake Lure, basically this region more than it did Haywood County. So I'm not totally sure what is bringing those prices down as steeply, but it is what it is. So average sale price, similar story to median sale price, that's down 19.5% year over year. Look at this. This went from almost $470,000 to almost $380,000. So that is a decrease of, let's see, $90,000. Again, huge changes here. Definitely something to keep in mind. If you are a buyer, this is certainly some good news. If you've been waiting to get into the Haywood County market, now might be a really good time, as prices are certainly discounted. If we look at inventory is increased. That's up by 58%. And month supply of inventory, not too surprising. When we look at those sale price numbers, month supply is up to 6.5. I think that's higher than, Buncombe County was 6.2. So Haywood County is in more of a buyer's market than Buncombe County. And that's up 62.5% from a year ago. Madison County, this one is pretty stable in price. So median sale price increased by 1.4%. It's now $427. And average sale price dropped by 2.3. It is $473 roughly. So I would say prices there are stabilizing. If we look at inventory is definitely on the rise. You can see a pattern here. Inventory is up 63.5%. Inventory is increasing. Prices are stabilizing. Month supply of inventory, this is pretty up there. We are seeing 8.6 for Madison County. As you may know, if you've watched my last couple housing market update videos, Madison County was leading the way into buyer's market territory, and it is certainly still there. So month supply of inventory is up 120.5% compared to a year ago. That's even higher than that 100% jump that we saw in Buncombe County. So those are all the statistics that I'm going to share for the Asheville region and also for the countywide level. Again, like I said, if you want more town-specific data, definitely check out that June median sale price short video that I put out, and there will be another one out in a couple weeks for July. But don't click away just yet. I do have a couple other things I want to share with you. Let me pull up my notes on my phone here. So there has been a lot of interesting local events and local news happening. So if you saw my, I believe, second most recent short video that I put out on Tuesday, I was showing you basically what the River Arts District looks like nowadays, and I showed what a lot of people have been showing, basically all of the destruction, and then I showed the contrast that you don't often see on social media. It was that businesses are open, especially on Depot Street, various galleries are open, cafes are open, and that part is up and running and ready for business. And I will have some other videos coming out in the future showing you updates on what Biltmore Village looks like and the progress that they're making there. I will have a video coming out next Friday that I think you guys will really enjoy. I basically spent half a day driving around different parts of the Asheville area, showing you the progress that's been made post-Helene and what businesses are actually open. And I think it'll be a really informative video for you, especially if you are not living in this area. But even if you are, I know that for myself personally, I'm always learning more about which businesses are opening up. And it's honestly kind of hard to keep track of everything as everything is changing so quickly, which is a great problem to have. So regardless of whether you're local or not, I think you'll definitely enjoy next week's video. So subscribe if you want to see that one, and, hit the bell if you want to be notified. But in terms of some local news, so parts of Biltmore Village have actually started to reopen. The Grand Bohemian is now open. There's an art gallery, let me see what it was called, the New Morning Gallery, that's now open. Monkeys, which is a clothing store, that is open. Zen Skincare, Hillman Beer. The Historic Biltmore Village Association expects 60% of Biltmore Village businesses to reopen by October. Another really big thing for this area is that the Blue Ridge Parkway from Asheville to Craggy Gardens and Mount Mitchell is going to reopen this fall. At least that is their projection at the moment, though Mount Mitchell State Park will remain closed for this time. This area has really had a lot of bad stigma post-Helene. I noticed that some people just think, destruction and how can people be living there, and it's all like doom and gloom, as most media is these days. But I'm here to tell you and to show you with multiple videos that I'll be putting out that that is really not the case here. There's a lot of progress that's been made, and a lot of businesses are opening back up, and plenty of people are living totally normal lives again. I just wanted to share that little bit of positive local news in this one. And I think that wraps it up for July's housing market update. So if you guys like this video, definitely hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button, comment down below what videos you would like to see in the future. If there's a particular town or area that you would like me to cover, then please let me know in the comments down below. That's it for now, and I will see you very soon in the next one.